Greetings and salutations of peace. You're now in tune on the one, the force itself of this time. We call it the Holy Master Blaster Jamin. I am Etal Iman for Media 23. Serious news. Terrestrial correspondent 11/5/2025. In the arena of information wars, independent media should be the voice of the people, the voiceless grassroots, as mainstream is the propaganda arm of the government. If what is being said here is understood, there is a psychological war taking place between the government, who are being controlled by the puppet masters, the great big businessmen, against the ignorant poor grassroots, i.e., there is a war taking place between the government and the people, the poor people, power to the people. It is the job of true grassroots media to educate them, as knowledge is power. Note, knowledge was power in the days of antiquity, and knowledge is the current power. That is the invisible thread that binds all things, from the tiniest atom to the largest star. One love, says the Rastafari. News should be so arranged that the reality of the time it presents itself in a coherent fashion. News should be arranged and presented in a coherent fashion. This is the art of the journalist, which should be functional. Here in this discourse, we will bring out the reality of our art not being used as functional art for the greatest asset of the people, of the black people, is their culture. And if that culture is not presented in a functional way, that culture is rendered null and void. We want you to study the clips that we present to you here, that you know what is happening currently. I am Etal Iman, terrestrial correspondent, Editor-in-Chief of Media 23. Serious news. We also will bring out in this video the final crop circle of the year that was found in Brazil. Many of the people say it is a symbol of the hydrogen atom, but that is not the fact. Fact is that this is what is called a circumpunt. And this is symbol of the mountain, the original symbol of creation. Circumpunt. The pyramid is symbol of the beginning of creation, the mountain or the mound of creation. Therefore, the three-eyed atlas is revealing to us that the intelligence that controls the mechanism, three-eyed atlas, is the intelligence of the gods, the invisible thread that binds all things from atoms to stars. It that dwells within me as me, it that dwells within you as you. Therefore the Rastafari say, one love. The gods are returning. This is the message of three-eyed atlas. Therefore, the final crop circle in Brazil, symbol of what is known as the circumpunt, the original mountain of earth, the original point of earth. We want you to study this information as we are breaking down the walls of illusion, that you explore the practicality of information placed right in order. This is the essence of this broadcast. In the arena of information wars, this is a great propaganda war. As the prophets have said already, in the days of antiquity, the days of the Bible, there was no word for poet. So the word prophet was used. And as our poet, Bob Marley, has said, we free our people with music. So music is the key to life. And we have explained in our work, there were songs written in the key of life. The major prophets, the major poets have brought the information to us, and in our work, if you would study it, this information is available to you. So, there was a hurricane that came to Jamaica, and people are saying that there was, they would rather say anyway, the powers that be would love for us to think that they are more powerful, so they want you to think that they see the clouds, etc. There was no cloud seeding, and we will bring that information to you.
This is not drawn to scale. Me cannot draw, but this is just a representation. South America, Central America, the United States, and the Caribbean, and this is West Africa. This is Bermuda. Remember Bermuda. This is how storms travel across the ocean. This blue line here represents the equator. Anything that's above the equator, any storm system that's above the equator in the ocean, will want to go north because of the rotation of Earth. And the stronger the storm system is, the more it will curve and go north, right? So why doesn't Melissa or any other storm will hit any islands curve? Melissa didn't just pop up in the Caribbean. Melissa was a cluster of storms that came off Africa when nobody didn't notice except the meteorologists. Then come over until them get to the Caribbean. So why did it stall in the Caribbean? Remember when I tell yourself, remember Bermuda? This is called the Bermuda High. It's an area of high pressure that's usually between Florida and the East Coast and Bermuda. And that's an area of high pressure. That prevents any cyclones, hurricanes, or anything from moving the direction they're supposed to move, which is north. Okay, so if the Bermuda High north can prevent this to go that way, why it never just go west? Because at that same time, there was another area of high pressure over the United States. Also, there was an area of high pressure over the East Caribbean and also in the West Caribbean towards Mexico that also helped in sandwiching Melissa in that specific place in the South Caribbean underneath Jamaica. Therefore, this don't have no way to go. So that means it a go stall right there. So now, when these start to move away now, that is when Melissa starts to move this direction, because this and this is dragging it this way. And that is why Melissa stalled in the Caribbean and moved across Jamaica. There is no cloud seeding. Nobody went to the Caribbean to create the hurricane. On our phone, on the dunce. The reason why it got so strong is because during this time of the year, Atlantic hurricane season is from June to November. When it comes closer to the end of the season, the Atlantic over here becomes a little bit more cooler. But the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean still has warm temperatures. So when Melissa was in here stuck because of this and this, it had time to develop into a category 5. Nobody make it. It's nature. And it's a catastrophe.
The Rastafari was the epitome of righteousness upon the plane of earth. Therefore, Jamaica represented all that was good. But there was a concert that happened. It was the 30th anniversary of Sizzla Kalonji, who represented the Rastafari movement. And that concert was called, the essence of it was inclusion. So they wanted the Prime Minister of Jamaica and a few other elements wanted the result of the Obama administration and the Biden administration, the people that painted the White House red and gold, i.e. the LGBT community, the hidden powers wanted that to be included in the Rastafari vibration. So Three-Eye Atlas in all its wisdom caused a hurricane to form, and this hurricane was nowhere to be seen on the radar before the Sizzler 30-year inclusion concert happened. There was no cloud seeding. This is not a conspiracy of the government. This is God himself revealing the monstrosities of a system. So currently, Jamaica represents the backwardness of the world. Jamaica is being used as a sign of corruption. Everything has become helter-skelter. Jamaica right now is being judged as a symbol. And as we say of the Master Blaster jamming, the sound vibration is powerful. So when you send out a vibration that is negative, you can expect the results that we got through Hurricane Melissa. So we ask you to study the video very careful and study our YouTube channel here, and you will find out exactly what happened. The final crop circle of the year in Brazil, the circumhunt. Research circumhunt, and you will understand what we are bringing to you in this discourse. I am Ital Iman, terrestrial correspondent, Media 23. Serious news. You are now in tune. On the one, the force itself this time. Because the Holy Master Blaster Jamming, note in the days of old, God was known by many names. At this time, we call the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. And your own research will suffice that you know what is being presented to you here through this media, electronic media, Media 23. Serious news. I am Ital Iman, correspondent. Sing. You are now in tune.
So we're turning around and we're striking boats that are leaving Venezuela now, huh? Now the Pentagon says that it's about drug cartels. Please, nobody sends a destroyer and a nuclear submarine after cocaine. This is about power, y'all. And here's the playbook. Drum up a conflict with a brown Latin American nation, then come home and say, we're at war. And once you declare war, what comes next? The War Powers Act, emergency declarations, the ability for a president to suspend normal checks and consolidate control inside of America. That's how you roll tanks into the streets under a banner of law and order. That's how you seize power while waving the American flag. Sound familiar? Yeah. That's Putin's playbook. Manufacture an enemy abroad to crush dissent at home. And now it's happening here in our own hemisphere, with Venezuela as the convenient boogeyman. President Maduro has already called it out, saying the U.S. has 8 ships with 1,200 missiles pointed at his country, warning that he will mobilize if attacked. Folks, this isn't about security. It's about setting the stage for authoritarianism. They don't need Venezuela to fall. They just need Americans scared enough to accept dictatorship at home. And if you think it won't happen here, you're not paying attention. The real enemy isn't 1,200 missiles pointed at Caracas. It's one pointed straight at our democracy. Truth has no party. Y'all be well.
So here's Donald Trump meeting Japan's new prime minister, and take a look at the symbolism. This is the Freemasonic Royal Arch. Checkerboard floor, 2 pillars and an archway. Checkerboard floor, 2 pillars and an archway. People are ignorant if they don't understand this. They're showing you they are occultists. That does not mean they're inherently evil. It just means they study the occult. They study the hidden, unseen aspects of the human psyche and the human consciousness. These people are very intellectual. Now, it's up to them how they use this knowledge. Do they conceal it and use it against others, or do they use this knowledge to uplift people? You can decide for yourself how they use this knowledge. But they're basically showing you that they are initiated into a secret society or an occult school.
You know, people are looking to us to save them. That is not what we're going to be able to achieve. Okay. We here as a county government are not able to protect people from actions from any other level of government. That's just the way it is. With regard to tracking ICE activities, I'll go back to our discussion Thursday, and I may have said something to this effect in a prior business meeting or after our business meeting. We are not in the business of policing the police. So as a county government, we provide the funding for the sheriff's office, law enforcement, as well as the jail and all other aspects of county public safety and justice services. Okay. The sheriff law enforcement applies to rural and unincorporated, as well as leading other coordinated task forces, countywide task forces. So, but the sheriff does the work of an elected sheriff under following our charter and code, just as we are sworn to, but also state law and federal law. So our sheriff's team is busy to the max already with the work they're doing. There is no bandwidth to track federal ICE agents or anyone else, nor should we be wanting them to deviate their energies towards keeping track of another level of government. We should continue to support them in doing the job that they were doing under the Biden administration and doing under the first Trump administration and doing under the administration before that.
What in the Call of Duty is happening in Philadelphia, guys? What the actual fuck is going on? Hello? Anybody gonna tell me what the hell's going on? Why are you in a tank? And why do you have a gun?
Our art must have purpose. Our art must be functional. Our power lies in our culture, so our culture must be directed by intelligence. When energy is not focused, it is not functional. We must have the intelligence to focus our energies to a certain point that it is functional. There is where our power lies. So the next few clips will be example of the helter-skelter or the scattering or the non-function or the non-focusing of our greatest asset, which is our culture. And we must step away from the step and fetch it scenario in order to be effective in this arena of information wars, of this psychological battle. We are on a path beyond technology, so we do not need arms. We do not use ignorance. Our power lies in our melanin, in our intelligence, and the fact that we are the pyramid builders. We are the original beings of the earth and the original beings of the universe. We are everything from the tiniest atom to the largest star, which is God. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself at this time. We call it the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. If you are lost, if you are blind and cannot see, we ask you to study the teachings of the terrestrial communicator, coordinator, Ital Iman. Study the Holy Book of Wonder. Study his teachings. And follow the blind man, for he knows the way. We want you to know that spirit is breath. Inspiration is the word of God. The breathing in is inspiration. The breathing out is death. So our prophets, i.e. our poets, in the days of old, there was no word for poet. So the word prophet was used. As the prophet Bob Marley or the poet Bob Marley has said, the message is in the music. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself of this time. We call the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. This is the epitome of communications via electronic media. Master Blaster Jamming. Yes, I, Rastafari, lives our time. What you are about to see does not define us. It is a total waste of energy. What you are about to see does not define us. Our greatest asset is our culture. This is not our culture. This is total madness with no purpose. It does not define us. Problem is, there has been no media that brought to us what we are to be doing at this time. What we are to be doing at this time is written in the Holy Book of Wonder, which took 36 years in the writings, composed and written by the New Age communicator, the terrestrial communicator, Ital Iman, as the handsome prince kissing and awakening the sleeping beauty. What you're about to see has no purpose whatsoever. It is total ignorance. It does not define us. Our definition is written in the Holy Book of Wonder. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself. The following is the truth about black people. The following is the truth about black people. I am Ital Iman. Serious News, Media 23.
Truth regarding the genetic differences between blacks and whites. At the core of the human brain is the locus coeruleus, which is a structure that is black because it contains large amounts of neuromelanin, which is essential for its operation. 2. Black infants sit, crawl, and walk sooner than whites. 3. Carol Barnes notes that human mental processes are controlled by melanin, that same chemical which gives blacks their superior physical and mental abilities. 4. Some scientists have revealed that most whites are unable to produce melanin because their pineal glands are often calcified or non-functioning. Pineal calcification rates with Africans are 5 to 15%, Asians 15 to 25%, and Europeans 60 to 80%. This is the chemical basis for the cultural differences between blacks and whites. And 5, melanin endows blacks with greater mental, physical, and spiritual abilities, something which cannot be measured based on Eurocentric.